All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Athlete Artist Show. I am the artist Kyle Forge alongside the athlete, professional hockey player Zach Boychuk. Back after a couple weeks, Chucky. I know you've been getting going in Slovenia. We've had we're doing this a little thing with Jeremy Roenick now, as some people saw probably this last week on Twitter Spaces. Yeah, let's get into it, Chucky. Slovenia, you've started playing, had a couple preseason tournament games. How are you feeling out there? How's the team feeling? What's it like being in a new league now and you started playing games?
Yeah, it's been cool. Training camp has been tough. I think day one we show up straight to the ice, get your equipment on, beep test. So we're like,
No
okay,
way.
all right, here we go, on ice skating beep test, and then we were doing basically pretty good workouts throughout the week, some fitness testing, and then. Technically, I would say not two-a-days. Like normally two-a-days would like say you practice in the morning, you go home for a couple hours, come back at like 5 or 6 p.m., skate again. We kind of did like a makeshift. It was we work out, skate, quick 15-minute flood, go back out for another, 30, 40 minutes. So it was kind of two-a-days, kind of just put in a good shift in the morning and then get into preseason games. And yeah, preseason's been good so far. Everybody's kind of getting to know each other, learning the new system, new coach. We have 8 or 9 new players on the team, so trying to get the chemistry going, figuring out lines, and we went to Slovakia for a tournament, played 3 games in 3 days. I haven't done that in about 12 years, going back to the AHL. So that was an interesting one, but got through it. Body feels great, and got another preseason game this week on Friday. So things are going good.
You were scoring too, I think, in 2 of the 3 games, or you scored all 3 of them. I was trying to keep up with flash scores and the Instagram posts from the team.
Yeah, tough. They're not exactly showing all the game sheets and everything, but nice to get on the board. Got the first goal of the season for the boys on a power play goal, and then also scored in a shootout to close it out. So we had a couple good games, and we definitely had a couple beers on the road trip in Slovakia. I think beer's cheaper than water there, so it was. It was a good 3 or 4 days when we were there.
Is Slovakia, are they in the same league that you guys are in, or is it like a different tournament where they're kind of a different league type of thing, like a crossover tournament?
No, in preseason there's a lot of crossover. There's a lot of like little tournaments. Like the Red Bull teams all have a tournament. There's a team in Austria, a team in Switzerland, team in Germany. They call it the Red Bull Cup. So they all play against each other. It's kind of like Champions League, but obviously there's no official tournaments. And yeah, just like these little like cup games. So we went to Slovakia, played 2 Slovakian teams, played one Czech team, and then we were on the 7 or 8 hour bus back home.
No charter flights in Slovenia, hey?
No, a little tougher to get on the trains and stuff, and the charter flights. So we're not in Champions League in Berlin anymore. So it's got to get used to the bus.
Have you guys played a game at home yet in your home barn yet, or when's the first one to really see the crowd that shows up for that team?
No, so we played one game in Klagenfurt, which is about an hour and a half away in Austria, and we had a few of our fans come out for that one, and then our first preseason game is this Friday at home, and hopefully, I think the owner was in town this week. We did our team pictures and media and everything, so hopefully, there's a good crowd this Friday, and I got my in-laws in town. Obviously, Boston. It's going to
Mm,
be his my son's first game, so excited
nice.
for the whole family to be there for that one.
That'll be sweet. Do you have like a little baby jersey for him, or what's the outfit gonna be?
Yeah, the team got all the guys with young kids like little shirts or little like onesie outfits. So he'll be
Cute.
wearing that, maybe a little overcoat to keep him warm in the cold ice rink. But yeah, it'll be good to have him there.
That's awesome. That'll be super exciting then. For first game at home, even though it's preseason, but you get to see the fans that are going to be supporting you for the next 2 years, and you get to have your family there. You're obviously your new baby, like you said. So that'll be a pretty special night, hey?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you know, going back, you never really realize how awesome it is to have a son, and there's only one of his first games, so this is going to be the one, and obviously it's a preseason game, but also first game at home in Ljubljana in Slovenia, so definitely a special one, and it'll be up there for an all-time special one for me.
That's pretty cool that your family will fly across the world for you because they've been doing that a lot over the last few years since especially in when you were in Germany that you had your dad and your family always flying out there. I can't even get my family to Nashville. You got yours flying to Europe halfway across the world.
Yeah, I think Abby's parents basically want to move here. They love it so much, and my parents haven't seen Ljubljana yet. They're planning to come in September, and they were in Berlin, and my dad had been in Berlin a couple times, and my wife's parents were in Berlin a couple times. So yeah, it's a long ways to go all the way over here, but it's worth it. You know, it's a short trip from here to Italy. It's a short trip to Croatia. It's a short trip just to the sea. And Ljubljana is kind of a hidden gem that nobody really knows about. I wish more people traveled here. You know, everybody goes to Spain, Ibiza, Portugal, like all those, Italy, like all the main ones. But Ljubljana is kind of a hidden gem. So look out for it.
It looks beautiful out there. I mean, we said that when you first got there. It's like it looks like a great place to go. I've never been over to Europe, so I might have to try to take a trip in the next 2 years, get out there and see you.
Yeah, we got a couple extra bedrooms for you to come, or if one obviously Boston, that's his room, but you can take the other room, and um, we'll carve out a nice tour guide for you to go check out Italy and Croatia and Austria, and pretty easy to get around on the trains and short plane rides, and yeah, Europe's awesome, that's for sure.
Is it a cat friendly city?
I would say yes. They like their animals there. A lot of the dogs are off leash, and you see a lot of cats in the neighborhood that are just kind of chilling around. So it's a good place for crooks for sure.
I took him to the pet store the other day, and he was just walking around meowing, trying to figure things out. He hasn't seen too many other animals or anything, so he was like a little skittish. But when I walk with him in the backpack, all the old ladies on the street love him. So I almost
Yeah, his first social outing to the pet store, probably seeing all sorts of animals and food and toys, and
yeah.
that's a lot. That's a lot to take in.
He's been there once or twice before, but this was the first time I let him out of his backpack and let him kind of wander around
Oh,
and put him on his
okay.
leash and harness and stuff. But there was another cat that they had there that was up for adoption that was like pretty fascinated with him, just like watching him walk around the floor the entire time. So
Maybe
almost ended up
maybe
with
he
a
needs
buddy
maybe he needs a little friend. Yeah, we got two dogs, so you go with the two cats.
for sure. I thought about it, but like I'm like I have to travel with them, and when I actually get going, having to travel a bunch, it'll make it tougher. And I don't.
Uh,
I'd rather take them with me than like leave them at
Carrying your
home.
suitcases and you're
Yeah,
carrying
and the
the cats,
cats.
and yeah, that's us now. We got two big like dog crates. We got strollers. We got car seats. We got the whole thing. So it's not easy getting around.
You definitely need the parents out there to help you guys babysit either the dogs or the kid. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a good system going right now. We go to the park and they take the dogs and we take the kid. And if we're traveling long distance, we got to separate because we got small cars over in Europe. It's
Mm.
tough to fit the stroller and everybody all in one.
You got to get the team to get you a black car or a black SUV.
Yeah,
Some no
get a
Uber
big
Blacks down there, hey?
no, it's tough tough traveling around in the smart cars over here.
That's unreal. Are you tired of the same old online casinos with their complicated rules, slow withdrawals, and measly bonuses? Well, let us introduce you to Flagman, the platform that's leading the way with a truly player-first experience. Here's what makes Flagman the new standard. Register in just one click and you're instantly greeted with a massive 225% welcome pack with up to 500 free spins. Once you're in, you'll get a weekly cash back up to 20%, enjoy fast withdrawals with zero commission, and play over 6,500 games with high RTP. Plus, Flagman keeps it fun and rewarding with a personalized player dashboard, exclusive stories with the latest promos, and even a birthday gift just for you. No limits, no nonsense, just premium gaming. Ready to play the way you deserve? Visit Flagman Casino and use the promo code AAS to claim your exclusive welcome offer. Hockey news. Obviously, off-season hasn't been too much, but actually something just popped up that I just saw on the score about McDavid. So no contract extension in place yet, but he's apparently saying that it's every intention to win at Edmonton. So unfortunate for those who wanted to see Connor leave Edmonton. Obviously, it's at least from what he says so far, he wants to stay in Edmonton. Why he wants to stay in Edmonton, who knows?
Maybe you probably wanted to see him come down the road to Calgary, eh?
Yeah, but I mean, Calgary's a disaster. So I mean, I sent it to you the other day. Let me actually find it. This was the future predictions. I think was this a Chat GPT thing that I sent out or? What was this?
The outsiders, right?
Yeah, it was like NHL 2030 league standings. Yeah, so the contenders it had Montreal, Dallas, Minnesota, Chicago, San Jose, Carolina, Anaheim, Ottawa. I can see that. I think all those teams are going in the right direction if they can continue things. Outsiders, if you want to scroll through competitors, which is topped by Utah at 9, but Calgary all the way to 21, the 21st team ranking in the outsiders. I sent it to you and I was like, Calgary Flames are career outsiders. Every single year, if they're even when they're first in the division or first in the conference, it's still a first round knockout. They're always outsiders. They're never actually contenders. They'll either be just good enough to squeak just out of a playoff spot, or they'll be good enough to where everyone's like, oh, they can win the cup this year or they can contend this year, and then they shit the bed in the playoffs. It's never a deep run since 2004 when we won.
Their first round draft picks are always like right in the 14 to 18 range. Like they rarely get. I think the one time they got a top 5-6 pick, they got Tkachuk and Monahan, like their best players. So
yeah, and look where Tkachuk is. He just won 2 back-to-back cups. He's been to the cup 3 years in a row, or 2 years. Yeah, 3 years in a row. He's been to the cup. Crazy.
The outsiders, poor Flames fans.
Career outsiders, and with the new ugly rink coming, the Saddle Dome I saw is being scheduled for a teardown in 2027, which is heartbreaking.
That's sad. And Rasmus Anderson wants out.
Which hopefully we get something decent for that. I don't disagree with trading him. I just hopefully they actually get a good deal for it.
I think they'll get a good return. I mean, I think everybody knows that he wants that big payday, and Backlund's talking about it in the Swedish whatever newspaper Tribune, and it kind of at some point I feel like it's going to be a bit of a distraction. Obviously, he's going to have to play well and earn that trade and earn that contract, but yeah, it's tough when the Flames just can't score goals, but they're hard to play against. They got great goaltending. Somehow they're always in the mix, but they're always going to be on the outside.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm excited to see is Wolfie kind of, even get more responsibility. This year will be kind of the first year Vladar has moved on, and Wolf is kind of in that prime position officially to really take the reins, which is nice. He got a good opportunity last year. Obviously, played really well, proved himself, and now it's time to see if he's the real deal. If he's the team's next Kiprusoff, if you can lead them to another 04 kind of run, but they might have their Kiprusoff, but they don't have their Iginla or that powerhouse offense that they had back then. It's like, who are going to be those guys that step up and make this team a real contender?
Yeah, they just got guys who got snubbed from the Olympic team. You got, Wolf. He didn't get invited to the U.S. Kadri, he didn't get invited, and then had that big, question mark thing. I think we talked about that on our last podcast. So it's just a bunch of outsiders in Calgary.
And it's not even like outsiders like Vegas, when Vegas had their first year, where guys were like, let's band together and figure out a way to. It's like, okay, it's the young guys and then the older guys that nobody else really wants. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, what's going on?
Yeah,
here?
at
We
least
need
Vegas
something.
had like the misfits, the guys that nobody wanted and
Yeah.
they let go. Whereas Calgary, these guys either traded here, signed here in free agency, and just can't find a way to get back on track.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, hopefully Coronado's in for a big year. If Reshny gets an opportunity at all, that'll be actually, is Reshny going to school? Reshny might be going to school.
I think he is. Yeah, he committed, so he probably can't even sign an NHL deal.
So I mean,
But
some
you
of
got
these Parekh will be, hopefully gets a good opportunity this year. I've heard rumors. I think we mentioned it before. Maybe Zary is on his way out for one of these new guys. So, which is sad because I really like Zary, which is not often that I say positive things about the Flames or their players, but that's one of the guys that I would keep.
He's up for contract, right? Like he's RFA, or
I
has
think so.
he's got another year maybe.
I think he's up for contract. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of they just need a scorer. They need something. They need, like, Huberdeau needs somebody to play with. I think if he wants to get back to his 100-point pace, Coronado's got to take a big step, and they're going to be in the mix. I mean, they always are. They got good coaching, and they're young. They want to be offensive with Parekh coming in, but I don't know. At some point, you just got to tear it down, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, Kadri, I think it would be a good guy to get rid of. He's making $7 million. I don't think he's really worth
Mhm.
$7 million. Obviously Huberdeau, not a great contract, 10.5, and he's not even close to what he was when we traded for him. A bunch of bottom feeders like Kirkland and those guys. Like, why are you re-signing guys like that? The defense is like Mackenzie Weegar, Rasmus Anderson wants out. I mean, there's some young guys that might be good in the future, but not really a star. And then obviously Wolfie kind of at the back end, and then Devin Cooley. Like, that's if Wolfie doesn't do well, hopefully Cooley does. It's like, come on, what's going on with this team right now?
So where did Vladar go? Is he still there?
No, Vladar I think went to like Philly or something.
Really? It's probably a good pickup for them.
I do like Morgan Frost. I think had a good end of the season when he came to Calgary last year. Sharon Govich, if he can stay consistent, I think he could score pretty well. Farabee might be okay. I've always liked Blake Coleman, but he's 33. He's probably going to be going towards the lesser end of his offensive output. But I mean, he's a good character guy to have on the team. Good guy for the room. But yeah, it's like Huberdeau and Kadri. It's like those guys don't really need him. And I loved Kadri, but he hasn't done much since he came to Calgary.
Yeah, you could see a big trade coming at some point. Maybe they'll put Anderson and Kadri together. We'll see.
Maybe.
And you would probably prefer Uyghur too. I like Uyghur. I think he's a good player, a good guy for the locker room, but I know you're not a fan.
I just don't like him because he was here for a week and he told us to get a new arena.
And now the Saddle Dome's gone.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I've 1, maybe 2 years left of the Dome. This is incredible. This is insane. My goal as a kid was always to sell out the Dome, perform there. The closest I've gotten so far is being on stage, side stage with Jelly Roll. I haven't even gotten to perform.
I mean, that's still pretty cool.
Really upsetting. Very upsetting. Plus, like, it's just like the Calgary skyline. Like, you can't. It's not Calgary unless the Saddle Dome is in the picture.
The Stampede grounds will be weird without the Saddle Dome, without Cowboys tent down there. It's already weird enough.
It's tough. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. We kind of mentioned when we in the intro, we just did a Twitter Spaces with NHL Hall of Famer Jeremy Roenick. You guys might have heard of him if you're hockey fans. If not, what have you been doing? maybe look at your hockey history. JR. He's a partner in a new company called MedXT. It's a blockchain Web3 crypto based platform. Well, they've got a crypto coin attached to it, so it's like a utility project. Essentially, there's two sides to it. There's MedXT, which is the medical side of it, and then PaychainX, which is the cybersecurity and payment side of it, which is actually really cool. But we'll be doing a couple more Twitter Spaces. We'll be doing one more Twitter Space with him. We'll be doing a live Telegram with him, and then we'll be doing kind of capping it off with a podcast interview with Jeremy Roenick himself on Athlete Artist Show, which would be great. So that'll be a couple weeks down the road. But yeah, it was super sweet to have that little event with him last week. And Chucky, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was a solid hour, talking with him and Pat, not only about his hockey career, but how he got into business at some point. He wished he would have got into it early. He said he had a friend that was into Bitcoin super early and he could have gotten in and didn't understand it. I mean, we've all been there where you didn't really understand it. And, looking back, it's crazy to think, everybody has that crazy buddy in 2015 or 2017 who would have just got into it. And he kind of told a lot of stories for that. And obviously, PaychainX and MedXT, how revolutionary they're going to be, cutting out the middleman, owning your own medical records, and two real cool companies that to have JR as a face and Pat, the business guy behind it. They're doing the right things, that's for sure.
Yeah, PaychainX is really cool to me because it's like, I mean, I buy a lot of shit, especially like when you're in the crypto world. There's always worry for fraud and for security, especially when you see like these big platforms like Coinbase, they get hacked or they get something happens with their security where people are ended up out millions of dollars. And that was always it was kind of funny because that was always a big thing with my mom growing up. She would never let me use her credit card to order stuff online because she was afraid that people were going to steal her identity or whatever. And it's like, well, now 20 years later, after everyone has pretty much seen that buying stuff on the internet is fine, but now it's like PaychainX, it's not only for buying things online, but in actual physical purchases. So there's always these videos going online with card skimmers. I'm sure you've seen them. I'm sure the audience has seen them where people are peeling card skimmers off of POS systems at the gas station. And guys are like, oh, how did that get there? Like, this will help protect against that. Helps also for the merchants and for the stores. It helps them cut out the middleman and ends up saving money for themselves and increases security by cutting out those middlemen, like you said. And it just goes to the bank and to the merchant. And it's a quick process, whereas credit cards, they're always holding fees for a couple days, especially if it's a weekend before shit's approved. And it's just it creates a secure, quicker way to make payments.
Yeah, exactly. I think I mean, I don't blame your mom for not wanting to use her credit card. I'm sure you would have bought a lot of crazy things, and maybe there was going to be some fraud, some stolen funds here and there. But nowadays, yeah, you don't have to worry about that with PaychainX and MedXT.
I mean, I don't know what you think I was into back then, but I mean, I was a big wrestling fan, so I was always on WWEshop.com trying to buy wrestling belts and T-shirts and stuff like that. I had to convince my grandma to let me use her credit card the one time. I still have the belt too. I still have it in my closet. I had to convince my grandma to let me use her credit card to buy the World Heavyweight Championship. Get it shipped to my house.
Best purchase you ever made, and you didn't get scammed.
Exactly. But I have been scammed in person before. Like, I think of the first time I went to like New York when I got back, my account had to get frozen because there was someone that was taking money out of my bank account, and I was clueless until I got home. So stuff like that, it'll help you. It'll help you as well.
Yeah.
PayChain help you either
Wouldn't.
on the internet or in person.
Yeah. JR approved.
Chucky, we got NFL season coming up here too. I don't know if you've been digging into any of the preseason stuff, but this is kind of like the big sports time for us, at least before hockey gets going. I know neither of us are huge football guys, but I think we like to dabble in some fantasy every now and then. I'll pull up some of the NHL stats right now, but I know my Panthers are always struggling, but I like some of their players. It'll be an interesting season though. Chucky, do you have any thoughts on the start of the NFL season?
Yeah, I've been trying to pay attention, trying to see who I want to draft in my fantasy, and all of a sudden, all I see is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift
Yeah.
getting engaged. So they're just taking over all the news. I can't see who's playing well at QB, see who's the new young running backs that I need to pick up. So it's just Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I think everyone was wondering when that was going to happen. It finally did. And apparently they actually got engaged a couple weeks ago, and they just announced it. So, I mean, congratulations to Kelce and T Swift. I mean, the power couple in sports and entertainment right now. That's probably the most famous couple that's out there.
Yeah, they got a couple dollar bills to their names for sure.
Just a
I think
couple.
she's like 4 times as rich as him, but or maybe
Might be more.
yearly she makes four times as much as he does. $1 billion tours that she's on, and
Yep.
but I think their Instagram post announcing it was probably one of the all time most liked posts, and but they turned the comments off, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what was going on there, and I think Taylor Swift was on his podcast like a couple weeks ago, but I didn't
Yeah,
watch it. But
it broke a
yeah,
Guinness World
crazy,
Record.
crazy that happened so quick for them.
Yeah, they've only been together for what, like a few years, couple
I
years.
would say like a year and a half, maybe 2 years tops.
Damn.
But when you know, you know.
I wonder how many views that got, because I heard that podcast set like a Guinness World Record.
Oh, really?
Because I remember I watched it. I think it might have been a day after it came out, and it was already at like 21 million views in 13 days.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I
Insane.
don't know if she's ever done a podcast before. That might have been her
Never.
first like live podcast.
Yeah, just insane. And apparently, after they did the podcast, I think the New Heights account got a couple more 100,000 followers just from doing the show with Taylor Swift. Like
Really?
so business is good over there.
Yeah, their sponsors have probably doubled or tripled, maybe quadrupled since that podcast and since the recent engagement.
Yeah, that $100 million deal that the Kelsey brothers signed for their podcast is paying off for sure.
Probably looking good right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm hoping my Panthers can get it together. They didn't win one preseason game, and they got pretty much slapped around for the most part. So hopefully, when we place our bets on them on Flagman and our new partner, Royal Partners, whatever platform there is that we're using, this will probably be Flagman. Hopefully, we get some NFL picks here soon.
I'll probably still draft Chuba Hubbard. He's my running back for the year. So
Oh yeah.
I think so.
What fantasy do you use? You use Yahoo, or what system do you use?
Yeah, we're on Yahoo. Whatever it is, 12, 13 spots. I go in with a buddy, and I did the draft last year, and I pretty much like auto draft everything. Our team was horrible. We were like second last. So he gets to do the draft this year. I'm going to be looking on who we're going to be picking up waiver wires, and but I won the other pool that I was in, which was picking the winners and the losers against the spread. So I'm hoping I have another good year doing that. It might have been a lucky year. I just didn't know what I was doing, picking the right teams, but I did pick against the Panthers a lot, and they were covering the spread, so I think they messed me up that way. But it's always fun dabbling into that for whatever it is. The football season's short, and makes it way more interesting when you're in the fantasy and doing pools like that.
Do you have a pick for the Super Bowl?
It's hard to go against the Chiefs again.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Philly's going to be good again. They won it last year. Um, you know, it's crazy. Like the Travis Kelsey, all this stuff just took over all the news. I know Shadur Sanders. He's in Cleveland. There's like big, QB controversy there. You got Rodgers going to Pittsburgh, the Steelers. So I'll be watching those guys quite a bit. But yeah, like I always like the Ravens. They should be good again this year. I uh, I just I don't know. Tough to pick against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I guess Shadur made the final roster,
Yeah, there's
which
three QBs there though.
yeah, I know,
So
but I was gonna say because I know the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL got his brother's rights, and I think
oh
they
really?
snagged up his rights too for the CFL. So there was a thing recently that was saying if he did get cut, they were gonna try to get him out in the CFL. But I
That'd be
mean,
sweet.
he could probably make more on the practice squad than he could in the CFL.
Yeah, that's true. They'll find a way to get him a job in the NFL.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his brother's name right, Silo or Shiloh, but he got cut from the Bucks after he got in a fight in the preseason, like he punched some dude in the face or something,
Oh
like,
no.
and
Yeah,
then
that's
got
not ideal.
yeah
So
got
yeah,
cut from the Bucks, so he might be finding somewhere else to play, whether it's the XFL or the CFL or
I don't even know if the XFL is still a thing. He might have to go to the CFL.
is the XFL done again?
It might be around. I don't know. I didn't see anything this summer. Who knows? The
Uh,
Rock was behind that one, right?
I guess they merged. It's the UFL now. So they merged with the UFL, so it's just under the UFL, I think, not XFL anymore. But so I was
Oh
technically
man.
wrong.
I've been doing fantasy for the Premier League, which is
Mm.
soccer or football they call it over here. So I'm in all the fantasy leagues right now.
You're like me. You were betting on those dog races that we found on a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. What can we bet on? What can we watch throughout the day? I can't wait for Champions League hockey to come back. I can't wait for European hockey to come back. Obviously, we're still a couple months away from NHL and the North American hockey, but the summer goes by pretty slow with no sports to watch because I'm not
Yeah.
a baseball guy or um, I don't even know what other sports are going on in the summer, but not much. I got way too much reality TV, way too much Love is Blind, Perfect Match, Bachelor style stuff. So,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So dog days of the summer are almost over. We got 1 week till NFL regular season starts. Chucky's already balls deep in preseason Euro hockey in Slovenia, and then yeah, we've got like we said, we've got another Spaces, another Telegram with Jeremy Roenick coming up, and we'll try to keep everybody updated on any other off-season hockey if there's any big trades and stuff. Chucky, anything else before we head out?
no, sounds great.
We will see you all later. All right.
Peace.